better job.
The whistles indicate that the tower and its crew have begun yarding logs. Up above, the whirring sound of the processor's hydraulic chainsaw cuts logs to length. It's about 9:30 in the morning, but since they've already put in half a day, it's lunchtime. Rock and roll logger.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, man.
FM stereo. Here, dry, warm. Sorry, I got emotional there this morning.
Oh, don't worry.
No, I don't worry about it. I'm a gospel preacher
Yeah?
nowadays. And I think a lot about those kinds of things.
Yep. Well, it's what's important, you know?
It's extremely important.
Your wife and family, and when they support you, that's okay to get emotional about it.
Been married 22 years, raised a family, you know, and she just decided there were some things more important than money. And I'm proud of her.
I'm 44. I wouldn't want to do anything else in the whole world. Look at this. Now, is this nice or what? Well, it's destruction, Eric, but you know what? I hope on your way out you'll notice and maybe use the camera, because you can see all the phases of forestry on this mountain on the drive out. There's signs down there. They've got, you know, planted 1989, planted 1996. And if you look, see, that's the problem with people anymore, is people don't look. If you'll look, you'll see the growth, you know. You'll see that it's all getting replaced. And if you look around here, there's more oxygen right here than there is anywhere in the world. And why is it? Because we cut them down and plant new ones and grow trees. And trees don't give off oxygen when they're mature. They give off oxygen when they're growing. So this actually, I know that there's going to be a lot of ho-ha on this, but this actually does more for our atmosphere than anything in the world. And I've been doing it for 25 years, and there's more trees everywhere I go. Everywhere I've logged, there's more trees than there were when I was a kid. This is all being replenished, and look at the birds down there. We did a job over on Orcas, cleaning up windfall, and the hawks. We had one hawk, we got to know him, we called him Bud. Followed us around because we'd shake the wind-blown trees around to get them loose from their roots. And that hawk would sit in the tree and wait. And as soon as we got that tree out of the way, he'd come down and get the mice and stuff. He followed us around that whole job 3 weeks. Every day we'd come to work. Oh boy, the boys are at work. He'd get up in his tree and start watching. And so, I don't know, it's pretty interesting. Geez, this is exciting for me. I was in Loggers World last month. I was running that machine Jim's running.
Huh.
They came up and took pictures and asked a few questions. Been down and talked to Jim at all? Or?
Yeah, we just fueled up and had a little bite to eat.
He's a really great guy. He really is. That man thinks about is getting logs out. He's good at it. He's just like I used to be, grumpy, yells and screams, but you got to respect the fact that he likes to get logs out. So You got to learn humility. The only way anybody ever learns humility is to live life. Thank God I've lived 44 years. Someday I'll be humble, you know. If God lets me live to be 80, maybe then I'll be humble.
Getting more and more every year.
I'm just learning how stupid I am now.
Another shovel loads a truck on the landing. The hydraulically controlled grapples squeeze the logs with a simple twist of the wrist, and the operator almost effortlessly loads the truck. The driver looks at his onboard scales to tell him when he's up to weight. The operator told him that the logs were really slick. Many of them have had their bark torn off, and that's the equivalent of being smeared with grease. Logs could shoot forward as the brakes come on, especially down these steep logging roads. The driver is putting his wrappers on. These are cables with chain on the ends, connected with a binder. I had a relative that was killed right here at this point. A log rolled off the top of the load. You never knew what hit him. How many loads you put out today?
Oh, I think that one there is number 5.
5?
Usually put out about 9 loads a day.
Yeah. Just for the setup's a little slow today, huh?
Oh, yeah, we got late start and now we're having to be loads and everything.
The rigging crew's first task is to untangle the chokers that get twisted together. Then they each take one and hook up however many logs they think the yarder can pull up the hill. The signal is given to lower the rigging. When chokers get twisted and bent, they get stuck on almost every branch within their reach. The painful wired jaggers tear open heavy denim and snag on almost anything. This reminds me of a joke about the old logger who had never been on an airplane before. He showed up with his oldest and most bent-up choker, the one he'd been cussing at for years but still using every day. When the flight attendant asked him what it was for, he said that if he had to jump out, that old choker would surely hang up on something on the way down. This is a tough 8 hours out here. Setting chokers is the entry-level position in the woods and takes more brawn than brains. You hustle in, set your choker, hustle out, a short break as the turn is pulled up, and do it all over again. Rain, snow, heat, angry ants, bugs, and bees, false footing with jagged sticks below. They're out there in the elements, wrestling with those chokers, trying not to get hurt.